At 3:06 a.m., every prisoner inside Blackridge County Jail started screaming at the exact same time. Not fighting, not yelling for help. Screaming, like they had all seen the same thing. Security cameras captured inmates clawing at the walls, crying, praying, smashing their own faces into the cell doors trying to escape. And in the middle of cell block D, one prisoner stood completely still, smiling. The strange part? That prisoner had been executed 6 years earlier. Deep in Louisville, Blackridge County Jail sat isolated beside miles of empty forest. The prison had a reputation. Violence, disappearances, suicides. Most guards quit within months. Some never spoke again after leaving. Night shift officer Jason Miller didn't believe in ghost stories. Until the night of October 14th. Rain slammed against the prison walls while Jason monitored security feeds alone in the control room. Everything looked normal. Cell block A quiet. Block C asleep. Then suddenly, every screen flickered. Static flooded the monitors. Jason cursed under his breath. Come on. The cameras returned one by one. But something was wrong. Every inmate inside cell block D was awake. Standing perfectly still. Facing the same direction. Toward cell 23. Jason leaned closer to the monitor. Cell 23 was empty. Or at least it was supposed to be. Then the lights inside the block shut off. Darkness swallowed the screen. And the screaming began. Jason grabbed his flashlight and radio. Control to block D report. Only static answered. The screaming continued. Louder. More desperate. Jason hurried through the narrow prison hallway. Emergency lights flashed red across the walls. The deeper he went, the colder the air became. When he reached cell block D, the screaming suddenly stopped. Complete silence. Jason slowly unlocked the metal gate. Freak. The block smelled horrible. Rotting flesh. Rust. Wet concrete. His flashlight swept across the cells. Inmates huddled in corners shaking violently. Some were crying. One prisoner had scratched his own eyes bloody. Jason approached the nearest inmate. What happened here? The prisoner grabbed Jason's arm instantly. He came back. Jason frowned. Who? The inmate's lips trembled. Caleb Crowe. Jason's face hardened immediately. Everyone knew that name. Caleb Crowe was the most infamous killer Blackridge had ever held. 22 murders. Cannibalism rumors. Execution by electric chair in 2020. Jason pulled away. That's impossible. Then the inmate pointed slowly toward cell 23. Jason turned. The empty cell door was open now. And someone was sitting inside. Smiling. The man wore an orange prison uniform burned black around the chest. Thin pale skin stretched tightly across his face. His eyes looked completely white. And his mouth, too wide. Far too wide to be human. Jason froze. The prisoner smiled bigger. Miss me. Jason immediately drew his gun. Get out of the cell. The man laughed softly. A wet cracking sound echoed from his neck as his head tilted unnaturally sideways. You watched me die, Jason. Jason's blood ran cold. He had witnessed Caleb Crowe's execution 6 years earlier. Only 3 guards had attended. And 2 of them were already dead. The lights above began flickering violently. Then every cell door in block D slammed open at once. Boom. Inmates screamed. Chaos exploded through the prison. Jason looked back toward cell 23. But Caleb Crowe was gone. The prison entered full lockdown within minutes. Sirens echoed through every hallway. Warden Rebecca Hayes arrived furious. What the hell happened? Jason tried explaining. But halfway through, the security room called over radio. Ma'am, you need to see this. Moments later, they entered the surveillance office. The technician replayed security footage from Block D. At exactly 3:06 a.m., the cameras captured a dark figure walking through the cells. Caleb Crowe. Every inmate recoiled in terror as he passed. But that wasn't the horrifying part. The horrifying part was that Caleb appeared on every camera simultaneously. Different hallways. Different floors. At the same exact second. Warden Hayes whispered, "That's not possible." Then the footage zoomed in automatically. Caleb slowly turned toward the camera and mouthed 3 words. He is below. Suddenly all the monitors shut off. The room went black. Then someone whispered behind Jason, "Dig deeper." By morning, 13 inmates were dead. No visible injuries. No cause of death. Everybody wore the same frozen expression of terror. Jason couldn't stop thinking about Caleb's words. He is below. So that night he searched old prison blueprints in the archives room and found something strange. A hidden underground section beneath Blackridge Jail. No official records explained it. Only one handwritten note from 1954. Do not open the lower cells. Jason grabbed a flashlight and headed underground alone. Bad decision. The basement tunnel beneath the prison looked ancient. Stone walls. Rusty chains. Water dripping endlessly from the ceiling. The deeper he walked, the more voices he heard. Whispers. Hundreds of whispers. All speaking at once. Then Jason found the door. Massive steel. Covered in claw marks. And carved into the metal were the words, "He feeds on the guilty." Jason slowly pushed the door open. Darkness waited inside. Then his flashlight revealed something impossible. Thousands of names carved into the walls. Every prisoner who had ever died in Blackridge. And in the center of the room, a gigantic electric chair. But someone was sitting in it. Caleb Crowe. Motionless. Smiling. "About time," he whispered. Jason aimed his weapon immediately. "You're dead." Caleb chuckled. "So are they." The shadows behind him started moving. Figures emerged slowly from the darkness. Dead inmates. Dozens of them. Skin hanging from their faces. Broken necks twisting unnaturally. Burn marks covering their bodies. Jason backed away in horror. "What do you want?" Caleb's smile widened. This prison was never meant to hold criminals. He stood slowly from the chair. "It was built to feed something beneath us." A deep rumbling suddenly shook the underground chamber. The walls cracked. Dust fell from the ceiling. Then Jason heard it. Breathing. Massive breathing. Something enormous moved below the floor. Caleb looked downward lovingly. "He's waking up." The ground exploded. A giant black hand burst through the concrete. Not human. Not animal. Its fingers were impossibly long. Covered in chains. Screams echoed throughout the prison above. Emergency alarms activated instantly. The creature beneath the prison began pulling itself upward. Jason ran. The dead prisoners chased him through the underground tunnels while Caleb's laughter echoed everywhere. "You can't leave Blackridge." The prison lights exploded floor by floor. Cells slammed open. Inmates flooded the hallways screaming. And something gigantic crawled through the walls beneath them all. Jason finally reached the prison yard. Rain hammered the ground violently. Guards fired weapons toward the building. Then everyone froze. Because Blackridge Jail was moving. The entire prison structure twisted slowly like something alive beneath it. Concrete cracked apart. Watchtowers collapsed. And from beneath the prison, a gigantic shadow rose into the storm. Hundreds of chained arms stretched from its body. Human faces screamed from inside its skin. The creature opened glowing white eyes. And every light in the county went dark. 3 months later, the government officially blamed the Blackridge disaster on a gas explosion and inmate riot. The prison was demolished. The area sealed permanently. But locals still report strange sounds in the forest at night. Metal chains dragging through the trees. Prison sirens echoing where no prison exists anymore. And sometimes, at exactly 3:06 a.m., people driving near the old Blackridge property claim they see a man in an orange prison uniform standing beside the road. Smiling. Waiting. Like he's looking for someone new to lock inside forever.